All right, Aries, this is your mid-March 2021 Love Tarot reading. I'm Ryan with Arrows of Love. Welcome back to my channel. If you like these videos and would like to see more of them, please click that like button and subscribe. It helps the channel and it's very much appreciated from me. All right, Aries, so before we get into the tarot and the cards, I'm going to briefly just review what's happening in the sky for you because there's a lot of good things happening. We're in Pisces season. The sun is in Pisces, Venus is in Pisces, Mercury's going to be in Pisces in a couple weeks. And Neptune's in Pisces. So tomorrow is a new moon, and the new moon occurs whenever the moon passes over the sun. They conjoin. This particular new moon is magical and it's potent because it's going to be just a few degrees away from Neptune and Venus. Neptune is this nebulous planet. It creates a little bit of confusion. It's haziness. It represents spirituality, but it's also very compassionate and it's empathetic, and it has a very soft side to it. It's a soft heart. Venus is also in Pisces, and Venus is exalted in Pisces. And this is a part of the essential dignities. And it basically means this: the energy and the archetype of Venus matches up very well with the archetype and the energy of Pisces. So imagine Neptune and Jupiter are the rulers of Pisces in ancient and modern astrology. And imagine that Venus is in the nicest room when it's staying in the house of Neptune and Jupiter. So here you will see romance, you'll see longing, it's spirituality, it's very soft, it's extremely intuitive, dreamy, and imaginative. The negative side of Pisces is that it can be very escapist. So this has a tendency to bring up drug addictions and alcoholism and addiction to sex, anything that you're addicted to. It's the dream state. And for you, Aries, this is in your 12th house. And the 12th house is ostensibly a house of endings. It's the end of the cycle. So we're coming up to the end of the zodiacal wheel, and then we start anew with you, Aries, around March 20th or the 18th. It's right around there when the sun moves into your sign. And that's the start of the new zodiacal year for everyone. So it's a time of winding down. It's a time of rest. It's about the subconscious and going deep. And it's about research. But the 12th house is also in ancient astrology known as a house of self-undoing and self-sabotage. So you need to be very careful in this new moon and this weekend because it's going to bring up a lot of dreaminess. It's going to be like you're living in a fantasy almost. You can meet someone new that kind of sweeps you off your feet if you're looking, or if you're in a relationship, you could kind of get caught up in this dreamlike state. So be careful. It's going to feel like something magical, but at the same time, it creates longing, almost as if the universe is tempting you with something that's a little bit beyond your reach. So while it has an amazing feel to it, it's almost the start of spring, it's almost the start of the spring equinox, just realize that there's some really subtle negative energies that come with this too. So really be careful about your consumption, about anything that's too good to be true, and just realize that this is a winding down period. So that's about the 12th house. The other important thing is that Mars, the planet of action, vitality, virility, and kind of that pioneering attitude, that is your ruling planet, just moved into Gemini. And this is pretty good for you overall because Gemini is an air sign, you're a fire sign, and whole house aspects here. We're talking about a 60-degree aspect. Gemini is 3 signs past Aries, and that is about local communities. It's about communication and marketing and selling. It's a busy house. It's about communication. Gemini is the chatty Cathy of the zodiac. So communication can be a buzz for you in particular, Aries. The whole house aspects from Aries to Gemini is called a sextile. That's 60 degrees. And those are also opportunities. So you have to go and look for them. They're not going to just show up at your door. But there's opportunities here locally. and with learning and communication. So things could really be a buzz for you overall, but then you got a lot of happening in that 12th house. So just realize the sun's going to move into Aries. I think it's the 18th or the 19th. Actually, it might be the 20th. So it's one of those days. Sorry, I don't know the exact date. But then you're going to feel like the spotlight's on you. So if you are a late Aries, happy birthday. You have your solar return, which is always a great thing. And we're going to see what's happening for you in the love department. Now realize another thing with this particular new moon is that it's going to make a semi-square over to Uranus sitting in Taurus in your second house of self-worth, possessions, income, and resources. And it's going to make a semi-square over to stern taskmaster Saturn. And that's sitting over in Aquarius in your 11th house of friends, group associations, your hopes, wishes, and dreams, the future. So there could be some tense things on that front too. So it's going to make an exact semi-square, that new moon on the 13th. So there could be some tension on that front as well. Nothing in particular happening in your love houses, but that doesn't mean love can't be found. So Aries, this is how we're going to do your tarot reading. I'm going to pull one card from the Angels Oracle for your general energy, and then I'm going to pull 3 cards for you and 3 cards for your love interests. So we're going to see how this goes. Keep in mind, these are general readings. If the messages don't resonate with you, check out your ascendant, your moon, and your Venus sign. Take the messages that resonate with you, leave the rest. All right, so I was shuffling before I got on here, but I always like to show you guys that I don't do anything with the cards. If you're looking for a personal reading, my email is in the description box below. We'll take a look at your natal chart, and I'll pull some cards for you. I can do pre-recorded readings. I can do live readings, whatever you'd like. So my prices are fairly reasonable. This is, want to help you out. So, all right, Aries, let's see what's going on with you. Trust. This situation is calling for you to have faith. Okay, we just talked about spirituality and faith. This is 12th house themes. Okay, so the new moon is always about planting seeds for the future, and things come to fruition then during the full moon 2 weeks later. So you need to have trust right now. This is the 12th house as a spiritual house. You need to trust that the universe has a divine plan for you, and that if things are a little bit rocky, especially with Uranus sitting in your second house of self-worth, and Saturn making that semi-square to that new moon in your 11th house of the hopes, wishes, and dreams, just know that there is a divine plan for you. All right, so 3 cards for you, 3 cards for your love interest. 3 of Pentacles is the first card that you pulled. 6 of Pentacles. A lot happening with work. 7 of Pentacles. Wow, okay. We just talked about income, possessions, resources. Uranus is the change maker. It's going to totally shake up that second house of yours. All right, this is for them. Judgment. 6 of Swords. 9 of Pentacles. Okay, so Aries, you have the trust card. You need to trust that things are going to work out. You have been working away, probably hard at work, building the life that you want to see. The 3 of Pentacles is usually about some type of work project. It's people getting together to create something. It can often represent third parties, right? But I don't really see a third party situation here, except for the fact that something needs to be rebalanced, okay, with this work situation perhaps. Or if you're in a group situation, the dog. Sometimes he heard something. He's going to come visit eventually. So 6 of Pentacles is about the rebalancing. You're going to see here that the man is holding the scales, and that he's performing an act of service. He's giving food to the needy. So this is about sacrifice. This is about giving of yourself. But making sure that you aren't sacrificing your self-worth for the good of the group, for your friends, group associations, if there's a third-party situation happening here, it's the same thing. Like, you need to rebalance the situation. You need to take a step back here and think about the situation in terms of what it is you've built. Because this is the next card. You have the 6 and the 7 right next to each other. The 6s are really about service. It's about giving back. So you might be called here to start giving a little bit back. Aries, you have a tendency, and I say this with love, to think about yourself first. So this might be a calling from universe to say, hey, you might need to give a little bit back here. But also we realize that you've been working hard to build something up. And that's where trust comes in, realizing that the universe has a plan for you. So if you've been really just giving it a go at work, and you've been, maybe leaving your loved one out, to dry, so to speak, it might be time to start thinking about giving back a little bit, and that the situation is going to have reciprocality if you give back, okay? Now with them, it looks like a decision was made. So judgment is always, it's just that, it's judgment, decisions. So maybe they made a decision recently to move away or to give something up. There could have been some endings here, right? Because the 6 of Swords, you have 2 6s. 6s are difficult cards. In astrology, the 6th house is about service. It's about health. In ancient astrology, it was known as servitude, disease. It's not a nice house. The 6th house is also known as a house of open enemies. So, you might just be dealing with some really tricky characters right now, and you need to have faith that things are going to work out. It looks like a decision was made, and the decision was made to move away from something, or something was given up, right? And it looks like they might be moving to something else. They're looking for happiness here. They're looking for that happiness. And the 9 of Pentacles is a card of abundance. And it's not just abundance in wealth, it's also abundance in emotion and having all the good feels and feeling as if you're going somewhere. They want to have that with you. And it looks like you just might not be giving it to them. I think that's where this is going. You're focused on other things. They might be moving away because of it. So it's calling you to rebalance the relationship, maybe take a break from work, trust that this situation is going to work out, but you got to give a little bit back, Aries. Let's pull another card for the outcome. Yeah, Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups is a nurturing individual. So it's calling for you to have this Queen of Cups reciprocality back. It's the Queen of Cups is kind of like a mother, and I'm not saying be the mother, but think of it like this. Sometimes you want your partner, your love interest wants to feel nurtured. They want to feel loved. Pisces is all about feeling soft and being empathetic and compassionate and understanding other people's situation and realizing that sometimes it's not always about you. And you got to give a little bit back. So I think this is where this is going. Cups energy is about emotion. So you got to show a little bit of emotion here, Aries. You got to give a little bit back if you want to keep these people around, and have that soft heart. That's what really this new moon is about, the soft heart, and realizing that everyone's always going through something, and it's time for you to just give a little bit back. All right, Aries, I hope you've enjoyed this reading. We'll talk to you next time.